I'm Jovhannah, the Spiritual Love Coach, and it's been a while since I've done a Facebook Live here. Normally, I am connecting with the members in my group, the Spiritual Love Circle, but today I want to start to shift things and be more present here also. So I'll share a little bit about what I do, and I have some notes here about the things that I want to talk about. So if you see me looking in different places, it's because I'm looking at my notes. But what I do is I really help women to shift out of a place of pain back into a place of love and kind of rebirth themselves after experiencing heartache, pain, and grief. So I do that in a variety of ways. Energy healing, I also do tarot readings, spiritual guidance, coaching, and a few other magical tools that I have in my toolbox. But I want to thank you for joining me today for this spiritual love session. It's going to be very interesting. We're talking about how to deal with lack of confidence and also negative thoughts. So it's something that a lot of people struggle with, even if they maybe don't necessarily admit to it. A lot of us do deal with negative thoughts about different things, just depending on who we are and what things we're struggling with. So I'm going to share some tips with you and give you some things to think about. So you may want to grab a notebook and a pen so you can take notes, jot things down. And while you do that, I'm just going to invite a few friends to join us so that they don't miss out and they can get in on the amazingness. All right, so before I get started, I would love for you to share this and invite your friends to join in, or anyone else who might benefit from this message so that they can get some inspiration to start their week. It's my intention to do this each Sunday. I would like to just come on and share something that'll really help you kind of get through the week and shift your heart set and mindset. So one of the things that I was thinking is trying to figure out, does low confidence come from negative thoughts, or do the negative thoughts come from low confidence? And it's really hard to say because they're so intertwined and related. A lot of times, hey Jennifer, how we think about ourselves can affect our performance, and how we perform, of course, can affect how we think about ourselves. So it's important to really kind of pay attention to how we're thinking of ourselves and also what we are absorbing from other people as well, because even as adults, other people's opinions and their thoughts, whether they are positive or negative, can still impact us. And that's something that, I think it's just human nature, right? We want to be loved and we want to be accepted and we want everybody to think that everything that we do is great. And that's not always the case. And one thing that I do encourage people, as well as myself, is that no matter what someone else thinks, whether it's good or whether it's bad, that what you think matters most. That way no one else can kind of influence your happiness. And I was talking about how, we love to put things in boxes or categories, and that's kind of how we learn things, which is okay, but it also limits things. So that's kind of what we do to ourselves with our internal thoughts. So we start to put limits on ourselves as to the things that we can do because of, either how we grew up, the things that we hear, the things that we see. And that's kind of where our internal self-talks come from. We have this box that says, well, I'm not good at these things. And so then we stay inside that box thinking that we're not good, so we don't try. Or if we do it, then we're just kind of kind of half-assing it, or we're not going at it with an open heart and open mind. Hello, Goddess Afua. Thanks for joining me. And chances are, if we don't feel good about ourselves, that there is a story that's playing in our mind. So one of those little boxes have opened up, and it's just like the record on repeat. And it's, telling you that, you can't, you shouldn't, you won't, you don't. And all of those things that we don't want to hear, that we can turn it off and learn how to power through it and kind of tell that story, shut up, and rewrite the story. So we can mask low confidence as a lot of different things. It can show up as fear, procrastination, which also is kind of related to fear, shyness, bullying, hiding, laziness, even overconfidence to where maybe you're cocky or like in a place where like you know it all and like you can just never be wrong. So there's like a lot of different ways that, you know, that can show up in our lives. And I can say one of the areas that I have been focusing on, where I feel like I lack confidence or don't have the, you know, the energy behind it that I want, is when it comes to painting. And this is something that I've struggled with for quite some time. Painting was a really huge part of my life. And then it wasn't. And it brings up so much stuff for me. And like, I've noticed, like, I avoid it at all costs. And recently I shared how, okay, like I went and I got this art kit and I was going to start painting again. And what I realized is like, I don't have the confidence. And so it's keeping me from painting. And I'm not painting to, you know, sell art or to be like a world renowned artist, although, you know, that might happen. But it's just even, you know, just painting for myself, allowing myself to do something that I love. And I still realize that there are some limits. So like, I'm in a box, and where's the confidence around that? So that kind of got me into this space where I wanted to talk about confidence and negative thoughts. And so I'm working on reincorporating art back into my life because it was something that I truly loved. And that also just proves that, you know, we can have negative thoughts about anything from head to toe, from hobbies to, you know, our careers, to our education, to our looks. There's so many different areas of our life that can be impacted when we think about, you know, confidence. And a lot of times we only think about like performance or, you know, our outward appearances. And we don't think about things like, you know, hobbies and kind of more like normal everyday things. We usually kind of, again, put confidence in a little box that, you know, it's for speakers and things like that, where you're having to like perform. So I wanted to share some tips that can help us like build up confidence and shift into a positive mindset. And these are some things that I, again, am doing myself because I'm not perfect. I'm still human and having human experiences. Therefore, there are things that I struggle with that I'm working through in my own life. So one of the things is to really listen to our inner voice and start paying attention to those thoughts. And sometimes we can't do that because we're so busy. We are like bombarded with emails, work, news, everybody else, family, friends. There's so much going on that we don't even know like what we're thinking half the time. It's automatic. So start kind of being a little more aware of the things that you're thinking when it comes time to do the thing, whatever that may be. And you can even like write them down. And like for every negative thought, you can write 3 positive affirmations or, you know, 3 reasons why that is not true. Oh, yes. Fua says that we as women are often taught that confidence is bad or not nice. And it's funny that you say that, because when I was talking about like the overconfidence, I was thinking of how, yeah, I didn't want to say like, because usually the word would be bitchy, right? If a woman is like too aggressive, too confident, like, oh, she thinks she's all that, this, that, and the third. So, right, for us to be confident, then that must mean like, oh, we must think we're all that, and look at her, and she's this, and she's that. It just brings up a whole another dynamic. But we should be confident. There's no reason why we should have to tear another woman down. But then again, that kind of reflects back onto like, what are we thinking about ourselves that we would think someone else's confidence is bad. So yeah, that whole another dynamic. But you're right, we are taught that, you know, be seen and not heard. So like, to be submissive, you can't step out there and be assertive because, you know, you're supposed to be quiet, you're supposed to be like this, and it does create again a box. So one of the things, because sometimes, like I was saying, it's hard to hear your thoughts. Meditation is something that I was exposed to, I'm guessing, maybe about 13 or so years ago. And it truly helps you to quiet the mind. And then you can start to hear your thoughts. And then you can start to realize like, what the hell am I thinking? Like, this isn't what I want to think. So it kind of gives you control over your mind again, so you're not on autopilot so much, and you can help you really clear your mind and then start to feed positive things into your mind. And also, like, the things that we consume, whether it's books, TV, magazines, media, friends that you may have, like, are the people in your life, like, and the things that you're consuming, is it feeding you or is it starving you in some way? Like, if you are consuming negative information that, like, stresses you out, makes you feel bad about yourself, then start to change that and start to really curate and cultivate your environment so that it is loving and uplifting. Like, one of the things people struggle with is, like, body positivity, right? Feeling good about the skin that you are in, because the models that we see have, like, they're quote unquote perfect. And that's not the standard across the board. Yet, like, little girls, we grow up and we're used to seeing this image of what is acceptable as beauty. And when we don't fit it, it makes, you can feel bad or develop being self-conscious about your own body. So instead of feeding into that, you can change that and start consuming body positive materials. Start looking for, models who fit in your demographic, whether it's, by your shape or whatever that may be, but you don't have to consume all of the negativity. So really shift that, because if you're already, like, struggling with your own thoughts, and then now you're pouring in toxic crap from, like, all over, or, you keep going around this one friend who's always, like, talking crap about you and making you feel bad about yourself, cut them off. Distance yourself and really start to pour some positivity back into your life. The next thing that we sometimes skip is, like, deciding to do something about it. Asking, like, okay, well, what can I do from here? And then start doing it. And one of the best ways to really build up your confidence is by doing the thing that you don't feel good about, that you're afraid of. So even if it's just little baby steps, just try. Like, a couple weeks ago, I pulled out the little art kit that I bought. It was just like a little, cheapy set, whatever. And I painted a couple of pictures. And so I did it. But now I need to do it again. So taking that step and then building momentum behind it by continuing to take the step is what's really going to build the confidence. And then as you do it, congratulate yourself. Just, like, celebrate it. Make it like the biggest thing in the whole wide world. Throw a party for yourself if you need to, because you did it, and it is need to celebrate. Often we don't celebrate our accomplishments. We downplay a lot of the things that we do, because, like Fuwa said, like, we're taught that, to be confident or to celebrate ourselves is so, like, taboo. Like, who does that? But that's what we absolutely need to do. You need to toot your horn. You need to toot it the loudest, and make sure the people around you are, like, tooting right there, celebrating with you. And so that goes into, like, getting support from other people, from friends, from, support groups. There are tons of support groups for a variety of different things, where other people who may be struggling with some of the same things that you're struggling with, guys can all come together and support each other. And that also helps you realize, I'm not alone. Like, there's nothing wrong with me. Like, this is normal. These are normal feelings that I'm having. You can also work with a coach or a therapist. No matter what type of support you need, get the support, because it's there for you. And also, you want to love yourself hard. I don't mean just, like, bubble baths and pedicures and things like that, but truly loving yourself, your mind, your body, your soul. Take care of you. Make sure that you are speaking life into yourself. Affirmations, making gratitude lists, listing out your accomplishments and your successes, no matter how big or small. Write love letters to yourself about the things that you have done, about how you feel about yourself, and about the changes that you are wanting to make in your life now. And another thing that's kind of fun that really helps especially before you have to go do something, like, especially in front of other people, or just in general, like in the morning when you get up, look at yourself in the mirror, tell yourself you love yourself, and then power pose like a superhero, and just really stand tall and strong and just feel that confidence and that inner goddess energy radiating throughout you. It's a lot of fun, actually. And it's something that I do, especially like even before like live videos, have to do something I know I don't want to do. Like I just, do my little superhero stance. Like I got this, I can do anything I want to do. And it feels good and it's fun and it gets your body moving a little bit, and also dancing, because we can get the jitters before having to do something, or, start to feel those little anxious feelings come up, that fear. Move your body, dance, put on a song that you like, and just move and let your body, the movement, like diffuse the negative energy. And again, just kind of raises like your vibration and you start to feel good. So it makes things a little bit easier. So one of the things that I'll probably try next time, because when I used to paint with music a lot. And so I think that's one of the things that I am going to do, is kind of dance, put some music on that I enjoy, and who knows, we'll see what happens. Another thing that I absolutely love doing is journaling. Journaling allows you to express whatever is inside. You can be as raw and honest as you want. You don't even have to keep it. A lot of times you can just tear it up and throw it away if you feel like, oh my God, somebody's going to read it. But it's just good to write it down. And sometimes you will write things that you didn't even realize you were thinking. Like you can go back and read and be like, oh, so let me focus on this. Or wow, like that's really great. So allowing yourself to express what you're feeling internally is really great, because you're no longer bottling things in. You can get things out, and also you can see patterns. You can see, patterns of habits that maybe need to change, where you get, stuck feeling bad about yourself, or, back into that low confidence, negative thinking pattern. And you can also see habits of growth where you have made changes along the way. So I hope that these tips, really resonated with you, and that you're able to get something out of this. Another thing that we have going on this week is the Healing Circle, which is going to take place Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to talk about self-forgiveness, which kind of segues back into what we were talking about confidence and negative thoughts. So sometimes we lose confidence because of experiences that we've had, or ways that maybe we've sabotaged ourselves. And sometimes we do just need to work on forgiving ourselves and, letting go of those things. So self-forgiveness is another practice that is really helpful to rebuild your confidence and to help release some of those negative thoughts. And I would love for you to join us if you would like. You also will get the chance to express yourself and be supported without judgment. It's a sacred space, and I'm inviting you to it. These do happen monthly, and we talk about different topics. This month, again, like I said, it's going to be self-forgiveness. The link is in the description, and you can register at tslc.co/healing circle to register for this amazing, amazing session. So it has been a pleasure sharing with you today, and I'm looking forward to our next session together. So enjoy your day. Peace. See, that took forever. That was good.